Tom, alongside Detective Anthony Grasso, decides to start with the closest link the task force has to the crime's perpetrators. Kaylee Prater, the girlfriend Peaches had proposed prior to his death. Naturally, the girl knows absolutely nothing about Peaches' involvement in last night's home invasion, nor the identities of the men he committed the crime with, and becomes too hysterical to question any further. After hitting that dead end, the two reconvene at Task Force headquarters, aka their commandeered flophouse, though not before Grasso attempts to make awkward small talk with Tom about the possibility of getting some quality family time and his tenure in the FBI, which is going on 20-plus years at this point. There's little time to dwell before the team circles up to break down what they know, but what seems most important to be aware of is that the Dark Hearts have only become as successful as they are in the world of drug running, because they don't hesitate to cut off any weak limbs. If the gang has a mole helping Robbie's crew hit their houses, Grasso says, you can bet they're going to unearth it by any means necessary. The fact that a kid's life is on the line has their leader, Perry, even more upset when he privately meets with Jayson to see whether anyone has tried to dump the fentanyl that went missing from the crime scene. They're not concerned about Tom being the lead on the FBI's investigation, either, dismissing him as little more than a pencil pusher. As for the gang's potential mole, we won't learn who it is for at least another week. MZ ducks out a meeting with Robbie and Cliff at their agreed-upon time. Meanwhile, Tom's adopted daughter, Emily, meets with school counselor to talk about everything that's going on at home, but what's still looming over the family is her brother Ethan's sentencing next Wednesday, which Tom's older daughter, Sara, is flying in for. Emily's still debating whether to give her own statement, in part because, as she confesses, her biggest fear happens to be her brother's release. When Sara finally arrives, the mood is distinctly frosty, and as the family sits around post-pizza to talk about what to expect at the sentencing, it feels like a ticking time bomb ready to go off in a room. Ethan has pleaded guilty to murder in the 3rd degree, which has a maximum sentence of 15 years, but there's a possibility that could be lowered based on the family statements the episode's title alludes to. In the moment, Emily decides she wants to speak on her brother's behalf and recommend rehabilitation over incarceration, which Sara strongly objects to, because it would mean Ethan being released in 5 years, and as far as she's convinced, that's not nearly enough time, considering his offense. The truth finally comes out as starkly and unflinchingly as possible. Ethan had been off his meds and suffering from a psychiatric condition when he threw Susan, Tom's wife, down the stairs, an incident that resulted in her death. The show has been tiptoeing around the truth up until this scene, but Sara's confronting demeanor, as well as her less-than-subtle inference that Emily and Ethan weren't really Susan's children, results in Emily shoving away from the table and running out of the house. It's plain to see that the family hasn't been the same since that fateful day. Tom even admits he's prayed for guidance and only received silence in return. That same night, Maeve sneaks Sam out of the house with the intention of setting the boy free from a kidnapping he isn't even aware of, hoping that someone will recognize him in public as she makes an anonymous call about his whereabouts. But when she gets back in the car, Sam is snuck into the back seat, leading to Maeve barely eking past a police roadblock with the kid hiding in the trunk. "What have you done to us?" she tearfully asks Robbie, carrying a sleeping Sam back into the house. As for the Dark Hearts, they've tracked down Peach's last known whereabouts, which doesn't exactly bode well for poor, innocent Kaylee and her dad.